Hey, Michael. Sorry for running a little late. Just dealing with some computer stuff, but all good now. You there? Oh, my camera quality is so orange.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Sorry about that. My computer was taking a while to turn on, but I think I got it now. I have bad Wi-Fi at my place too these days. How have you been?
I don't know. I just always saying a little bit busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. As far as your university orientation goes, are you all done with all of that, or do you still have a few things left to do?
I don't have orientation at all, but I have a homework.
Mm.
Yeah, I got a report about physics experiment.
Oh.
So yeah, it was too hard. The professor said you have to write the whole story on the textbook about the physics. So I have to copy it by my hands. So yeah, it was hard.
Mm-hmm. That is a lot to do.
What
Sometimes,
yeah.
oh, I was gonna say, just the experiments and the lab reports, they can take a long time sometimes. That was all I had to add.
You know what? Actually, because of the coronavirus, right now we can't do the experiment right now. So
Mm.
the professor provides the data about
Mm.
that experiment, and we just have to write the report. Yeah, so I think the wait a minute.
No worries.
Yeah, my mom called me. Yeah, anyway, yeah, because of that, my hands are hard.
All the writing.
Yeah,
Mm. I'm sorry to hear. That does not sound like a fun weekend.
yeah, and I have more homework. So after finish this class, I have to do that too.
Mm-hmm. Is it more like writing homework, or is it? Or I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. But for some of my classes, there's writing involved, like you need to write an essay or a paragraph or something like that. But some of
Mm.
my classes, there's no writing. You just turn in the math, like show your work, that type of thing. So for
Uh,
your so for your homework that you have left, is it writing or is it more like math, just show your work, that type of thing?
from the math, like we have to write the process of solving these problems. So so to prove the process, I have to write it again and
Oh,
take a photos and upload it in the
photos?
yeah take a photos the
That is
process.
hard. That sounds difficult.
Yeah, And actually, we have a computer class, so like a PowerPoint, Excel, Word,
Mm.
something like that. We will learn about that. So I have a right now. I have the homework about the PowerPoint and also the videos. I have to, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I feel like the videos has to come very easy to you though, because
Why?
you made all those excellent videos in high school. The
No, 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 no,
campaign.
not that type of videos like this, like a Zoom recording, something like this, like a presentation and a recording that
Mm.
with a PowerPoint.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, maybe that is a little tricky, but I know I listen, when I think of you as the video expert. Just because you were in high school, you
No,
made so
no.
many different videos, and I thought they were all, like, very good quality, like, they were when I make a video sometimes for school, it's not good quality, but yours were all very, very good, so you
No,
gotta
not at all.
I think of you as a video expert a little bit.
I want to, but yeah, I'm not good at my friends. My friends is good at videos.
Mm.
So yeah, every time my friends help me. So
Mhm. Hey. Hey, that's part of networking, right? That's a good skill to have too.
oh, do you have any test or homework from your university?
Me, yeah, I stayed up very late last night doing maybe this is actually why my computer was so slow this morning. But I had a coding assignment for math, and so
Uh,
I was up very late last night doing this math coding assignment.
what
Hmm.
kind of coding?
Um,
Python, something like that?
it's similar, so it's called MATLAB. It's like
MATLAB.
Python. Yeah.
Mm,
Basically, I don't know. We had a few different problems to do, but you have some equations that has x1, x2, x3 in the equation, and you have to solve for all three x's. And
mm,
the way the problem is set up, there are infinite solutions. And so you had to make a graph and you had to name 5 solutions out of the literally hundreds of solutions that there are. So it took a long time just to find everything that I needed.
mm,
Mm.
I see.
Which is strange, right? Because typically when you code something, the idea is that it'll be faster. But for this one, it was slower. So, and it took forever for my computer to just run. And so I
Mm.
didn't even think about that. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I slowed my computer down when I was doing this code test or something like that.
So you did that from your apartment or
Hmm.
from
Yeah.
your apartment?
Yes. On the same laptop I'm using right now, typing away on this keyboard, that type of thing. But yeah. My honestly, I probably should have gone somewhere else and used a different computer because my apartment does not have the best Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
And so if I try to do too much, it freaks out a little bit. But
Uh,
maybe I mean it's working fine right now, so maybe it's all right.
nice.
Yeah, so
Oh,
this is my thought process anyway.
yeah, nice.
Mm.
Oh, how's the weather from there? Is it good?
um Most people would say it's good. I get cold easily, so I'm kind of cold. It's
Until
about 16 degrees Celsius. Once it reaches 16 degrees Celsius, I start getting warm again.
mm,
Here, I have it pulled up. Right now, the weather outside is 7 degrees Celsius. So for me, that's cold.
7 degrees. Yeah, it's not warm. It's a cold weather
Mm-hmm.
from here too. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I see. Hmm, interesting.
Yeah.
On the, yeah, how many week? How many weeks will we what I call it, lasted?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't imagine it'll last too long. Because actually, not today, but yesterday was the first day of spring. And so it's supposed to be getting warmer and hotter. So I feel like it has to be over soon, right?
Mhm.
I can't say for sure, but I feel like it should be over soon.
How about the coronavirus?
The coronavirus, I haven't heard a lot of news on it recently. I do know there are a lot of people getting the vaccine right now that haven't been able to get it before. Like there have been some college students that are getting the vaccine. And it can be very hard for college students to get the vaccine. So I guess that's good news.
From where?
So doctors' offices and hospitals will order the vaccine, and then the vaccine is given to people based on what the hospital decides, those type of things. And so the hospital has decided, like, hey, we're gonna give. I'm just making up a number. We're gonna give 100 vaccines to college students, and then the college students actually get those vaccines.
Who? There are a lot of college, and there are a lot of college too. So
Yeah,
from where? Your university too? Your college too?
yeah. My university has been giving out some vaccines.
Mm,
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
haven't gotten one yet. I want one. Also, I don't think we talked about this, but I have asthma, so I have a breathing issue,
Hmm.
and so um, part of the vaccines is they say that people who have health issues get the vaccine first,
Hmm.
and so my asthma is not super bad, but it's kind of like a mild or a middle condition. And so at the very beginning, I couldn't get the vaccine, but now I think because of my asthma, if I wanted it, I could get it because I'm
Hmm.
technically I'm at risk. You know,
I see.
I still feel very healthy, but if you ask my doctor, they would say she could be healthier.
uh,
Mm.
actually, from next week, I think the situation of Korea will be getting better,
Mhm.
but I don't know why. But some university tried to make face-to-face class, not an online. So I think that means the situation is getting better than before. So I was curious about the situation from America.
Oh, for the universities?
Mm.
Right now, all universities are still online. They told us that they want to be in person, but they can't right now. That's kind of the message.
Mm. The middle
Which,
school and high school too.
so for middle school and high school, they do have class right now. Like they are in person.
Why?
So the reason that they tell us, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what they say, is they did a research study and COVID-19, it's not a lot of the times it's not spread at school. It's spread I want to say at home, but that's not right either. But like let's say on the weekend maybe you go to a cafe with your friend or you see a
Mm.
movie, like you're hanging out with your friend, right?
Mm.
So they say that the time that COVID spreads is when you're hanging out with your friend, not when you're at home, not when you're at school, but like when you hang out with your friend. And so a lot of the schools, at least in the state of Texas, have been in person, right? Because they're like, no one is going to catch COVID-19 from school. If they're going to catch COVID-19, it's going to be from somewhere that we can't control, like, the movies or the cafe with a friend.
But that is the same. The two middle school students, high school student, but even they have a potential risk. But
Mm.
like a even though they have potential risk, why they restricted the college student only?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you too. I think part of it is it goes to government, right? And
Mm.
so the person that is in charge of the state is the governor. And so for Texas, our governor is Governor Abbott. And when he got rid of the mask rule, he said
Mm.
that universities that they're allowed to choose their own rules, but he said that the public schools, like the high schools and not the colleges, sorry, the high schools and the middle schools, like they don't get to choose their own rule. He said that he still chooses the rule for them. So I think part of it is government too, a little bit.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Like a from public school, they have to follow the rules from government. But
Uh huh.
in the case of a private school, that they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is where it gets crazy. Like my school, my university, it's not a private university. It's still a public school. But I guess just because it's a college that still makes money versus a high school or middle school, the
Uh,
governor said that, my university can do pretty much whatever it wants, that it's up to us and no one else what happens.
you know what? I can understand that because if the students enter the college or
Mm-hmm.
university, then from university they really um can get the chance to earn money more,
Mm-hmm.
even when students are not exist in their school university. So that means if the students are not there, they don't have a chance to earn money, and and the government can't have a chance to earn some taxes from university. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit, I can't understand about that because yeah, you know yes, yeah.
It's very complicated, right? It feels almost like it's too hard for me to understand all the different things that go into it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's crazy though. I think about this all the time. And maybe this is me not focusing enough on my actual homework, but I do think about this a lot. This year has been so crazy. Nothing like this has ever happened before, right?
Yeah.
How strange is that? Like this is a type of story that I don't know, maybe your grandparents will tell you this, but my grandparents will tell me stories like, "Oh, I remember back when I was your age and I had to walk to school in the snow and
Mm,
it was uphill both
mm,
ways." Like that, right? The grandparents always tell the story about how hard life was in the past.
yeah.
This is our story about how hard life was in the past.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, this year it will be the worst year among
Mhm.
the whole year.
Mhm. Yeah. I feel exactly the same. And so, I guess when I have kids one day, this is my story. I'll tell them, I remember back when I was young and I had to go to school during the pandemic. Like what do you have to do? You can't complain. What do you have to do?
Yeah, exactly. Me
Like
too. I
that.
think I will do it like that too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. For me, I don't know. This is funny to think about.
yeah, it's
Okay,
funny.
I guess we should get started on TOEFL things. Let me share my
Okay.
screen real quick. But this was a very good conversation. I'm glad we had it. I still have my code pulled up too. If you want to see what it looks like, I have my screen on. This is, I think, why my computer was so slow today. Because of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here, we're going to X this out because maybe now my computer will be faster.
So many function.
Yes. Okay. So, actually, can you see all right? Do you want me to zoom in a bit so the
A little
text
bit.
is bigger? Mhm.
Yeah, a little bit, Janine, please. Yep.
Oh, I got a little too big. Okay, so just let me know whenever you want me to scroll.
Okay. Can you scroll down, please?
Sure. Oh, real quick, this word right here, this is pronounced capuchin. That's a little bit of a tricky pronunciation, capuchin.
Cappuccino.
Mhm.
Can you scroll down, please?
Mhm. Oh, and I did forget to mention this, but if you need the definition of anything, just let me know. I think this last paragraph has the trickiest words. Um, embedded, maybe, or
You're embedded.
honestly, you.
What?
Yeah.
What? What
Oh,
did you
I was
say?
gonna say. Sorry, there's just like an echo or feedback, but I forgot to mention this earlier. But if you want a definition of anything, let me know. So far, the words have been pretty easy, but I think this last paragraph has some tricky ones. So embedded can be kind of tricky. Um, honestly, irrational that can be kind of tricky too. So just let me know if you want any definitions.
Embedded.
Embedded means to be a part of. And so how complex, how complicated our money is, that is part of our history. It's embedded in our history.
Inhabitable.
Um,
Like the money, the complex of money and us. We can't. Um, we can't. We can't go far away like that.
yeah, like we can't avoid, right?
Yeah, we can't avoid.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so if something's inevitable, we can't avoid. Embedded, it had the word does not have to do whether you can avoid or not. It just means that it's part of something.
Okay.
But the way that they have this sentence set up, yeah, the two are kind of related, right? You know, money is something that we can't avoid. How we feel about money is also part of our history too. We can't necessarily avoid that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, ready to do some questions? Okay, so question 1. What was the aim of the experiment outlined above?
B.
Okay, correct. Yeah, the reason why is because of evolution, right? The monkeys are like, they represent human nature.
Yeah.
There's always a question of nature and nurture. So it's investigating whether these mistakes, if they're nature, which is the monkey, or if they're nurture, which is how we're raised, kind of. Okay, I have an off-topic question for you. Have you ever taken a psychology class or something like that in school?
Psychology? No.
They talk a lot about this, the idea of nature versus nurture in psychology. For us, we have to take psychology to graduate. It's part of, if you want to finish college, you have to take psychology.
Like a double mind. Like a
Yeah,
from
almost like a.
for human.
Yeah, like you have your mind that you're born with, and then you also have the mind that you learned, like the things that your school taught you or your parents taught you, like that.
Mm.
Sorry, it was off topic, but I thought it was a fun question, so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So now this one is we want to figure out where to put this sentence at A, B, C, or D.
C.
Yep, right, because that's right before they start talking about the metal disc. Okay. So sentence 3. Oh, and I'll ask you this. Have you heard this word before, paraphrase?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So which of the following statements is the best paraphrase of the highlighted sentence?
B.
Yep, once I have identified or we know our problems, we can solve them. Perfect. I'm going to copy and paste this one so we can look at it. This phrase cotton on, I will say it's very uncommon in English. You do not hear it very often.
Yeah. Learn.
Yeah, that kind of goes with this word right here. It's our little hint. Clear the screen again. Okay, question 5. This one has quite a bit of reading. I'm going to copy and paste this one too. Let me know if you want me to scroll so you can read some more of the paragraphs once I get to it. I wish the questions were right by the reading.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
think
smart.
so.
Okay. Here it is. Okay, so this is paragraph 2. This one is 3. This one is 4.
2.
Yep, I agree. It says monkeys were selected because they're distant relatives, they're intelligent, they have the capacity to learn. Okay, And very last one, what can be inferred about Lori Santos? So let's copy this. And then we'll go back to the paragraph. Okay, here's where it mentions Lori Santos.
What is the meaning of greedy? It is bad word?
Kind of. If you're greedy, it means that you want a lot of things and you're not nice about it. So if you're greedy about money, maybe that means that you would take money from your friends. Or if you're, I don't know, maybe just greedy in general, like about life, maybe you and your friend both got offered a job, but you decide not to be nice to your friend. So that way you get the job instead of them. It's greedy is just wanting something too much.
Mm. B?
Okay, her job frequently involves working with monkeys. I would agree. The reason why is she's a primate
Primate.
psychologist, right?
Mm.
Primate is a monkey.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great job. I feel like, I don't know, have you had the thought that TOEFL is a little bit easier than the ITEP? I think the reading section, at least for a TOEFL, is better than the ITEP section.
Both things
Does,
are hard to me.
Mhm. Yeah. Hey, well, you did good on the ITEP.
What?
Did you? You did good on the ITEP when you took it. You got a very high score, I remember, right?
No. That is not my score. You know, I,
Mm.
I got the score, but that is not a official thing.
Oh, yes, it was the practice. Okay. Yeah, I'm remembering now.
So yeah, yesterday I took it,
Hmm.
the official one. So, but it was more hard than the the practice thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it was harder.
Mm. I hate
Yeah.
when that happens. It's very tricky.
So yeah, I don't know. It was hard.
Mm. Yeah. I was going to tell you something about TOEFL. I can't remember. Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh, I think it was the universities. So some universities take ITEP, some take TOEFL.
Mm,
And so if you're worried about ITEP or you're worried about TOEFL, that might be a good thing to look at, is to see, which university wants which exam. So like my university, we want TOEFL. The ITEP doesn't really matter. But
mm.
my sister Eileen's university, they want the ITEP, and they don't care
Yeah,
about
I
the
heard
TOEFL.
that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
which for me
Hmm.
is very interesting because
What?
I wonder, how do the
Hmm.
universities decide which tests they like better, right?
What do you think about that?
About the universities having different tests.
Yeah, like the standard.
Mm, I don't know. I think for me it's confusing because for American students, there's only two tests, right? There's just SAT, there's just ACT.
Hmm.
International students, there are so many tests. There's a whole list. And so for me, I think maybe it's not fair to the international students just because, instead of having to worry about just 2 tests, they have the entire list of
Mm.
things to do. That's at least what I think. I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
Then, so that you think like the various option that offers to international students is not a privilege to international students, right? You think?
Yeah, I think it makes it harder for the international students
Mm.
because now, like, let's say, because when you apply to universities, a lot of the times you apply to more than one, right?
Mm.
And so that means that you have to take a lot of tests. But if you're just an American student, no matter how many universities you apply to, they all look at the same test, which is like SAT or ACT. So,
Ah, I, like a two of four international students from like a for international students from the University of America, they choose just one type of test among the various options that offered to international uh, students, right?
mhm,
So that means um, when if the international students want to offer the various university, then they have to practice. They have to prepare various type of tasks also.
mhm.
So
Yes,
uh,
yes, exactly. Mhm.
I see, I see. Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but you know, sometimes no, no. In my case, uh, I don't have like a information about the name of university of US. Like
Mhm.
I just know the name of university such as Harvard, Ivy League,
Mhm. Mhm.
Stanford, or A&M, like that. So
Mhm.
that's it. So to me, you know, and I think I told you from Korea, the name of university is very important.
Mhm.
So many students try to go the top class university
Mm, mhm.
instead of looking for the major that they want to enter. So they just want to have the name of university, have a name of top class university. But as I said, I don't know the name of university of US in my case. So I don't have to and I can't compare which is better
Mm, mhm.
among among the University of US. So I think uh and various option that offered to international students among that type of ways. If I know just TOEFL or ITAB, then I will try to do just both things
Mm,
instead
mhm.
of selecting another option because I don't care the name of university. Just I just want to um, focus on a major instead of the name.
Mm,
So in my case, I think that is not problem to me. But
mhm.
I think it could be other international students. But yeah,
Mhm.
that is my thought about that.
No, that makes 100% sense. I hadn't thought about that at all, but what you're saying is exactly right. That's That's good though, because that means that you have a very good, a very healthy idea about university.
What?
I think hear me out. So I think a lot of people when they enter university, they like you said, they do not think about major or anything like that.
Mm,
They think about the name.
mm.
And so the fact that you're thinking about the major and what you study and not just the name, I think that's great mindset to have. That's perfect. I think every student should be like that.
But
Cuz that's when you learn the most, right? Is when you focus on the major and not the name.
mm,
Mhm.
yeah, I think so. I think so. But yeah, but it is true. It is common from America, like Korean students. They focus on the name of top class university instead of focusing on major.
Yeah, I would say it's true. Even
Mm,
even American students do that too. Like my university, it's a pretty good university, but the
yeah, I
name
think
is
so.
not all the way at the top of the list, right? And so I remember when I went here, I had
Mm.
someone tell me, "Oh, I'm so sad that you're going to A&M. That's a bad school. Are you sure you want to go there?" And
Wow.
so for me, I was a little bit offended. I was like, the reason why I'm going here is not because I didn't get into anywhere else. It's because they're giving me money to go here.
Mm.
They pay me to be a student at A&M. But yeah, sometimes people can be a little judgmental about the name.
Oh,
Hmm.
really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. It is interesting for sure. Yeah. I remember actually the person who said that to me, the reason why she said it is I go to A&M, which is like a middle school, but I go for free. They pay me to be here.
Hmm.
And then her son, he goes to Columbia, which is, Columbia has a great name. It's like equivalent to a Harvard, Yale, that type of thing. But he didn't
Oh.
get any money, and so it's very expensive for him to go
Uh,
to Columbia. Yeah.
then you had more benefit.
I
You're a
don't even know if
winner.
it's thank you, thank you. I don't even know if it's about benefits. I think for us, we have to make a decision of what matters the most. He
Mm.
decided that the name mattered the most. For me, it was money.
Yeah, I agree.
But everyone has a different thing, right? For me, it was money.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
You know what? Before you told about that, I feel like, like the focusing on the name of top class university instead of focusing on the major. This situation is just happened just from Korea, not
Mm-hmm.
other countries, especially from America. I don't think like that. But yeah, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And now I'm thinking about it. I wonder if other countries have the same thing with their students.
Yeah, I think so.
Very, sorry. We live in I think, a very complicated world.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Hmm. So many competition and so many jealous, selfish.
Hmm. Yeah. And the competition you mentioned that I think is also very interesting too, because competition can be great sometimes.
Yeah.
It it can be it's a lot of competition is motivation, right?
Mm.
It will encourage you to do your best, but I think also sometimes we there's like too much competition, and then instead of doing your best, you focus more on
The result.
on the results, and you think not that I have to be the best, but everyone else has to be the worst. If you get what I'm saying, right? Like you focus on
Yeah,
everyone else instead of you. So
like how uh, how can I say? Um, like think like I'm a king and you have to bow me, bow under me like that.
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
that's a good way to put it. Oh, you're the king. I love it. Very true. Okay. Sorry, I got off topic a bit again there. You want to do a quick little listening practice? It's about a 3-minute listening. It's not super long or anything.
Okay.
Okay. Let me share my screen with you again. Okay, so in this section, there are short conversations. You'll hear the conversation once. And so Lee, Paul, and Kitty are discussing a project. After they discuss the project, we will answer the questions.
Right, so shall we discuss what we have to do for this project then?
Yes, it says we have to investigate some aspect of the university facilities.
Yeah, we have to design a questionnaire, don't we?
Yes, and we have to write an essay and do a presentation.
Is it an essay? I thought it was a report.
Let me check. Yes, you're right, Kitty. It's a report.
How long does it have to be? 1,000 words, isn't it?
Let me see. The report has to be between 1,000 and 1,500 words, and we have to do that on our own, but we do the presentation and the investigation as a group. So, have you got any ideas about what we can investigate?
I know one of the other groups is looking at the university library and whether it's adequate for student needs.
Yes, and one group's doing the sports center.
Does it matter if we do the same thing as another group?
I don't think so, but I was wondering about investigating transport.
Transport?
Yes, we could look at whether people think the bus service is regular enough, and we could also look at car parking facilities.
We could look at the cycling facilities too. There's never enough space for all the bikes in the bike sheds. I'm sure the university could afford to build more, what with all the fees we pay.
Okay, I'm happy with that idea. So how should we go about the investigation then?
Well, we could make some questionnaires. I can ask the people who travel on buses, and Paul, you can ask cyclists, and Kitty, you do a questionnaire for car drivers.
Shouldn't we write the questions together rather than individually?
Yes, that's what I meant. We can write the questionnaires together, but each of us can be responsible for carrying out the questionnaires individually. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
We should get some quantitative data too. You could count how many people get on and off the buses at different times, and I can count how many bikes there are in bike sheds, that sort of thing.
And we should take some photos while we're doing the questionnaires. They'll be useful for the presentation.
It sounds good. Okay, well, let's think about these questions then.
Right, so shall we just...
Okay, so that's the end.
Okay. B, B.
Okay, good. That's the first one, and then there's one more.
B.
Oh, yeah. B's right, but you got to choose two answers.
I choose two.
So, yeah. So B and
Right.
something else.
Right?
Yep. Okay, let's see question 2. How long does the report have to be?
B.
Exactly, perfect. I'm sorry, this is not
What is
laid
that?
out well. I guess
B-
A.
Yeah.
A is the library, B is the bus,
Mhm.
C is the gym, and D is
gotta
maybe,
be
I think this is a lunchroom? I can't tell.
lunchroom.
Yeah, I don't know
D?
what this is.
D.
I think that's right. Yeah, this question is everywhere. Okay.
Cycling. What can be? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Shelter. B.
Okay, let's give it a guess. Yes.
Oh,
The reason why is, do you remember
the
the
space.
student was
The
al-
facility.
yeah, and the student was almost complaining. He says, with how much money we pay to go to school, there should be plenty of shelter for bikes. And then he was going to count the number of bikes in the shelter. And so that's where that one comes from. Oh, then sorry, let me click this list. So bus transport.
Lee.
I think that's right. Okay, and then car parking.
Pool.
I think this one is Kitty actually.
A.
Yeah. And then
Pool.
yeah. Yeah, Paul was the one who was talking about the bikes. Yeah. I don't know. When I was listening to the conversation, it kind of seemed to me like Lee was the leader of the group, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was my thought. Okay. Yeah, but great job on the listening. Here, I'll stop sharing, but that was it for that one. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my screen a little. Not too hard though, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they were talking about the group project. Have you had to do any group projects, any group homework yet for college or no? Not
We
yet.
have like the experiment that I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we had to do experiment as a group from the school, but because of the coronavirus, we couldn't go to school. So that team project was canceled. So yeah, actually the report is after report the homework for report um, was the uh, was a project after doing the experiment,
Mm-hmm.
but you know the team project was canceled, so
Mm.
the professor just provided the data. Yeah, so like
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Mm.
I couldn't do any team project until right now.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, a lot of the times I think the labs or the experiments, they do have some type of team thing to them. It's pretty
Mm.
common. Yeah. It's been so long since I've been in a lab and I've had a lab partner and done a team thing with them.
Just alone, always.
Yeah, really. And what you were saying with the data, they just give you the data, right? You
Mm.
don't really need anyone to look at it with you. Like you can look at it by yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or asking.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Group projects sometimes it depends on your group whether the group projects are fun or not. If you have a good group, that's great, but if you have a bad group, it's it's not a fun time. It's very stressful.
Yeah, I think so. I'm a little bit worried about that.
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
but we but I have to think I can be the person make uh, who make a trouble from the team.
I love that. I know me, I have a group presentation coming up on Monday. I'm actually taking a photography class. So this is for my
Mhm.
photography class. And so the girl who's my partner, I'll message her and I'm like, "Hey, I finished 17 slides. All that left is the biography." And she won't say that she's going to do it. she'll say, like, yes, I agree. We should have a biography section. And yeah, I agree too. We should have a biography section. My question is, who's going to write it? Is it going to be you or me? Because I think it should be you.
uh,
She doesn't answer my question. She avoids it. I'm like,
like she doesn't want to say I don't want, but like she want to uh give responsibility to you like that.
yes, but she won't say it like right out. She
Yeah,
has to like hint
directly.
about it. Yeah, I don't. I would rather her just be direct. Like I can do it by myself. I just want to know for sure if I have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
This is
communication is
my
important.
thought process anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm. Hopefully your group situation goes better than that.
Yeah, I hope to.
Okay, well, I guess we're probably about wrapping it up, but do you have any questions for me before I go? And I think tomorrow maybe we'll work on writing tomorrow. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Okay.
But no
Do you have a
questions or
plan
anything
after
like that?
this?
I have some more homework to do, believe it or not.
Work.
Yeah, the presentation that I was telling you
Ah,
about.
ah,
Yep.
presentation. So
Mhm.
do you use PowerPoint or
I
what kind
use
of slide?
Google Slides.
Google Slides.
Mhm. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. Yeah, but it's about a photographer. His name is what's his name? Manuel Alvarez Bravo. And so it's about this photographer.
Mm,
Mhm.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I have to. I have to do.
I'll complain about it tomorrow when I see you.
Okay.
Okay, well have a good rest of your day. Don't work too hard.
You too. You too. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye
You too.
bye.
Bye.